Okay, let's head down pitch side because Connie McLaughlin has caught up with Edinburgh co-captain Ben Vellicott and tonight's URC player of the match, Darcy Graham.
Thank you very much for that, Rory. Goodness me, what a convincing performance, first and foremost. Ben, did that feel good?
Yeah, it did. Obviously, credit to us boys for getting the win. But I'm going to be pretty critical of ourselves. A lot of unforced turnovers. I think it was like 19-20. If we do that again the next week against the Lions, we're going to be under a post a lot. So we need to sort that out. But credit to the boys, credit to this guy. He was a magician tonight, wasn't he?
You're nodding your heads, but I think a lot of people, including our pundits, using the word or words similar to magician tonight. We always know you get something up your sleeve, Darcy.
Yeah, sometimes I don't know what I'm doing myself. I just get the ball and run and then think afterwards. But no, it's just good to be back with the boys. We've been in camp for a long time, and it feels like that. It feels like we've been away for a long time. So it's just good to have everybody back together and a good convincing win tonight. So happy.
Did it feel different? And is that the sort of missing ingredient that you think's been a bit of an issue? Listen, we've spoken about it so many times about consistency with Edinburgh. Is that the thing that's been missing, do you reckon?
I don't know. I think the last couple of weeks we put in some awesome performance. We went away to Munster, put in an awesome performance. Again, we were away to Benetton. Again, we put in a great performance. We just weren't quite on it for the full 80 minutes. And having the boys back, the international boys, is awesome. They bring a good energy around the group straight away from Monday they've just gone. They came back with a lot of energy, and that's what we want around the group. And you want this guy on the ball as much as possible, as you know he's going to create things.
And we know now it's getting a bit clearer in terms of what you have to do for this top 8. Really 3 victories over the next few whiles is going to be enough. Does it feel as if you've got what you need in your locker, Darcy, in this squad to make that happen?
Oh, 100%. Like we've had it in our locker the whole campaign, but it's just about doing it for that 80 minutes and turning up on the night of the game. And like we've got the quality here, and it's just about, and we've got the game plan as well. It's just about we need to stick to that for a full 80 minutes and just turn up for the boys. So as you said, yes, we do have that.
Right, enjoy it. I'm going to let Ben do the honours. Congratulations, Darcy, you are the BKT player of the match. Well done.
Thank you.
Well, some performance from that man, Darcy Graham, on the wing. And let's get further reaction down on the pitch because John Barclay has picked out one of the try scorers, Pierre Schumann.
I'm one of the try scorers. Thanks, Roy. I'm with Pierre Schumann. He just told me you felt like you should have been man of the match this evening instead of Darcy.
No, not at all. I think Darcy deserves that. He creates something out of everything or anything. It's a good win, but too much turnovers and too much unforced turnovers as well. And we have to be better for next week against the Lions.
Yeah, it's a big game, Pierre. I mean, it was a big result. You guys are under a bit of pressure with trying to get in the top 8. Was that the message during the week to embrace that pressure?
Yeah, exactly, Box. Like we said, we have to minimise the errors, and we can't slip up anymore. Like maybe one loss away, but not two. And especially the home games, like the Zebra one, was unacceptable. So we have to back that up with a good performance today. It's a good win. We got our 5 points, but we have to be a lot better as a team and individually. And we know what this team is capable of. And I think we're going to start building this block now with some good wins.
Yeah, that's the tough one. I feel like we're talking about this a lot, Scoomy, about around that level of consistency. You saw a great win against Munster, tough game last week in tough conditions, then you see that performance. Like, how did Edinburgh achieve that? Because you have got that great team.
Yeah, I think like individual responsibility, like just carry the ball slips out of hand or miss passes, especially in the finish zones like we saw tonight. I really feel like even at half-time there was already 11 turnovers from our side. So if we can convert those into conversion rates like either points or tries, we'll be much better for it. And we can show like, you know, set-piece battle, physicality, we're there. We just have to show the consistency throughout the 80 minutes. We have good bench as well. I mean, the whole squad is fantastic. We can just get on with the job. Doesn't matter who starts or who on the bench, which we never had in the previous seasons.
Yeah, mate. Anyway, I thought you were brilliant tonight, mate. Go and enjoy the showers. We'll see you soon, brother.
Thanks, Box.
Good man. Cheers.
Now we have their head coach, Sean Everett. Sean, how pleased are you with the performance, first of all, but equally the scoreline taking home the 5 points?
Yeah, well, it's a job done for us. It wasn't a complete performance by no means, but yes, there's some really good stuff there. Managed to get a bonus point, and that's what we needed tonight.
Was there pressure to come into tonight, especially at home, trying to get the performances in at home when you are racing for those top 8 spots?
Yes, there's pressure when you lose your home games, and we did lose the last time we played at home. It's not ideal in tight competition like this. So yes, the guys really focused this week. We had some internationals back,
Quite a few.
Yeah, 6 in total. Yes, welcome back to them, and really good performance from Darcy Graham, who got man of the match.
Oh, he was incredible, wasn't he, John?
Oh, he was superb. We're almost running out of things to say about him in commentary. Just in terms of I suppose how you debrief this game, Sean, and at this stage of the season with Edinburgh, is the focus very much on that feel-good factor, or is it more on the areas to work on?
I think for us, we've got to look at next week. You look at the errors that we made tonight and conceding the turnovers that we did, and most of them unforced as well. We'll need to tidy that up. We learnt our lesson in Johannesburg last year, and how tough it can be when you turn over the ball against them. And when the competition's tight, you don't want to give away losing bonus points and as well. So it's about keeping the other team scoreless too, so we need to tighten that up.
You must be excited. I think, in particularly watching Edinburgh play against Munster a few weeks ago, obviously disappointing in really tough conditions at Benetton, but Edinburgh seem to be playing with a real spark, a real excitement with the ball, and that must be standing you in good stead come the end of the season.
Yes, it is. It's something that we wanted to work on this year and improve on, and that is scoring tries. We've scored a lot of tries now in comparison to last year, and also got bonus points, which has kept us in the hunt because we won less than most of the teams. So that does help, but just happy with the way and the positive way that the players are playing. I think, the back three have got a lot to do with that. When you've got Darcy Graham, Wes Goosen and a fit Duan van der Merwe, it is dangerous. And when you're playing in conditions like these, the teams want to kick to you, and that is a risk with those three.
I think obviously on the back of that with your attack, your defence today I thought was pretty outstanding, especially in that middle third. Obviously Dragons were, I think you probably would have seen them in the week. They play quite a lot of rugby in that area of the field. Was that something you really targeted? Because it seemed to be, you got a lot of rewards from that, and then on the back of that you had obviously like the Wes Goosen and Darcy had that time and with the ball in hand a lot.
Yeah, we did look at that. One of the 3 points that we needed to do to win the game was try and get the ball back within 4 phases. We knew that if we stopped the momentum at set piece, which we did very well tonight, that we'd have that opportunity, and I thought the guys did really well. I don't know what the end of the game stat was, but at half time we had got it back 60% of the time within 4. So well done to them. It was also when after 4 phases we were quite comfortable, and hats off to the team on a disciplined defensive performance, because sometimes you can give away soft penalties and put yourself under pressure.
Yeah, I thought your penalty count was a pretty good, really, because that's an area of field, isn't it, John, in terms of you can give a lot away of penalties, and usually when teams do win that, kick to 22 points are conceded, and I thought that was a great area. You guys did well today.
No, thank you.
So you're up against Lions next week. Glasgow play them tomorrow. Are you going to watch that match by any chance?
We'll definitely be watching that.
And the build-up, all of us as well?
And the build-up.
I'm kidding. You don't have to do that. But look, well done. Congratulations. 5 points much needed by you. A wee sigh of relief, maybe?
No.
No. On to next week.
Glass of red tonight.
Glass of red, a large glass. Okay, well, thanks very much, Sean. Great to see you. Well
Thank
done.
you very much.
You can give John your microphone.
Cheers.
Thank you very much, John.
Right, nice to meet you, mate.
Oh, well, see you later. Lovely to see you, Sean. Definitely a happier camper now with that victory, an important one, that's for sure. And I mean, the performance, Ben Vellacott said it post-match as well, as did Darcy. They weren't that happy with the performance, but they got the job done.
Yeah, they did, and I chatted to Piers Kuman, it was the exact same message. It was very much a case of, yeah, we won well. Scoreline reflects that, but it could have been a lot. It could have been a lot more points, and I think at this stage of the season, you want to be in a position where you're really feeling slick, ball in hand. And if we're honest, Dragons are bottom of the table for a reason. And Edinburgh could have done a lot more damage today, so they'll have to be better. They've got a pretty tough run-in. It's not the hardest, but equally they'll have to be a bit more clinical with ball in hand. But I was really impressed with Edinburgh, just more so their mindset, how they went about the game. You touched on it, Cathy, I thought the defence, their discipline, the set piece, a lot of parts of their game were very, very good. So I think they're being quite hard on themselves, but I think that's probably not a bad thing.
Yeah, certainly at this stage as well, but someone that we've spoken about so much. We've just put a little highlights package together about him because, I mean...
You're all night.
Yeah, literally. I think we should just get his family here and they can talk about how great he is, because it's the skill, it's the vision, it's all these elements put together. He said in his post-match interview that sometimes he just kicks and he doesn't think about it. I think that's utter nonsense, quite frankly.
Well, that skill there, off a kick return. So most wingers, I'd say every winger would have just carried up and they look to kick again. But he's automatically looking, where's the space? Where can I beat a defender? One-on-one. He slips through. The amount of times he slipped through, maybe an ankle tap saved him. He could have had about 3-4 assists today. Anything good for Edinburgh today was through him.
I just think his mindset, certainly at the stage of the career he's at, I think you sometimes see players go inside their shells a little bit and maybe don't push it because it is a tight game and it's a game of percentages, and he's probably one of the exceptions to that rule. He plays what in front of him. I think he's dead right. I think he literally is such an instinctive player and he wants the ball and he wants to be involved in everything. So he was fantastic. We forget he's actually not played a huge amount of rugby throughout the last 18 months, really, because of injury. But when he plays, I mean, this place comes to life. Same when he plays for Scotland. I thought he was unbelievable. And I really hope someone like him can get on that British and Irish Lions tour in the summer.
Slight concern over Dan van der Merwe with that ankle there.
Yeah, it didn't look good, did it? He was pretty in a bit of discomfort. He obviously had a bit of a carry and got caught. And hopefully it's not too bad because they're going to need him because they're not going to be able to rely on Darcy Graham for that. And Wes Goosens for those highlights. He's a player they use off first phase an awful lot. And when you get that go forward, it makes it a lot easier for the other guys behind. Yeah,
certainly. As soon as one of them gets injured, it's a bit concerning for the team, certainly. But a word on the Dragons as well. It's tough for them. It's not easy. But equally, second half, better performance than the first.
Yeah, but I mean, at 26-0, it couldn't really be much worse.
It's
one of those ones because Edinburgh played well in the first half,
Yeah.
but they just dominated field position and territory, possession, dominated set piece. And Dragons, I thought, were a bit naive in the first half in particular. I know the win was tough, but Edinburgh managed it better in the second half. So, yeah, they came out and you touched on it at the start of the show, Kathy. It's a proud bunch, but pride only gets you so far in this game. So I thought there was some glimpses. I thought Hugh Anderson was fantastic in glimpses. A few errors. They were physical. Wainwright carried well. So it feels like a long end to the season for them, sat where they are, and they've got to try and pick something up so that the season doesn't just sort of wither away.
Yeah, well, let's get some reaction from their coach. Connie McLaughlin is catching up with Philo Tiatia.
Philo, give us your overall assessment of that 80 minutes, please, if you will.
Yeah, I was disappointed in the first half. I thought we just weren't clinical enough. We gave too many opportunities to a very good Edinburgh side and didn't look after the ball. So disappointed around gifting opportunities, but Edinburgh played really well. They applied lots of pressure and they managed to score points.
Are you seeing glimpses of hope and of things that you can build on for obviously the rest of this season, as difficult as that might be, but also for next?
Yeah, most definitely. We saw glimpses in the second half, in the first 10, 15 minutes. We applied pressure, managed to score points. It's really just focus and concentration and staying in the scrap.
How difficult is that for you in terms of a coaching role, of trying to consistently motivate the players when things are as challenging as they are right now?
Yeah, I guess there's, when things aren't going well and it becomes a bit of a trend or a habit, and it's really just trying to break those habits and stay in moments.
Appreciate your time. Thanks, Philo.
Thank you. Awesome.
Sometimes being a coach is great, other times it's quite tricky. How difficult is that role? I mean, Connie just asked him, but he's never going to say exactly how tough it is.
Well, he actually came into the Dragons as a defence coach, and obviously then die flying and leaving. He's got thrusted into the head coach, which is a completely different role, isn't it, John, in terms of the I guess the things he has to do behind the rugby. He's come to the club just to do defence rugby, and he's had to take over a whole region. So it is big, but there are glimpses, like Hugh Anderson. I think you've got to take a good positive from here. I think he's a real electric young player, 20 years old, brave. So there are glimmers of light in the region, but it's going to be a tough couple of games coming in now.
Indeed it is, but it's certainly more positive for Edinburgh. In the meantime, though, across the weekend in the URC, we have an all-Irish clash. Connacht take on Munster live tomorrow from 2 p.m. That is on Premier Sports 2. And then the Sharks take on table toppers Leinster live tomorrow also, but that's from 5 p.m. on Premier Sports 2. That's Scotstoun Glasgow Warriors face Lions tomorrow at 7 p.m. on Premier Sports 1. We'll all be there. And in the Challenge Cup, Edinburgh then face the Lions. That's next Friday at 7:45 p.m. Of course, on Premier Sports Rugby channel. Well, it's been a very positive night for the hosts here, Edinburgh, with a very good win over Dragons. They are still in contention for a top 8 spot. It's been great to have your company. From Alex, from John, myself, have a great rest of your Friday evening. Bye-bye for now from the Scottish capital.